mas madaling magpaka-Pinoy, 'di ba?
Totoo yun.
Wala nang mas Pinoy siguro sa kahit anong sasakyan
Mm.
aside from a jeepney. So, tapos isa pa yung 'di ba ano, sa jeepney lang parang may malaking part ng kultura siyempre ng Pilipino ang nabuo around the jeepney.
My Little Jeepney. That's the title of our show today. If there were a way for you to explore what you enjoy doing, and when we say enjoy, something that you could do for the rest of your life because you really love what you do. And this is the journey of our guest today, Ian Aycocho, who is an avowed hobbyist who has turned his works into art and has grown his own following. So people are really enamored with what he has created. And so let's invite Ian to introduce himself. Ian?
Ay, Dino.
Hi,
Well,
Ian.
thank you for having me in your show.
You're welcome. Our viewers are always curious to know who is the guest in the Leader's Edge. So, tell us about your background. I mean, your origins, how you went from what you thought you were going to do to what you ended up doing.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm 46 years old and I still enjoy playing with mostly radio controlled toys. But yes, and I also build them. Well, right now I'm in my studio where I build most of my toys. This one of them.
Mm.
Well, I know a little background about me. Well, as somebody who grew up in the 80s and 90s, I always wanted a radio controlled toy for myself,
Mm.
and I enjoy playing them with my friends. But I noticed that there's something I wanted to do. There is something more I wanted to do, which I realized early that I wanted to make my own toys.
Mm.
Yes. Well, seeing them playing with Lego and other like GI Joe toys that they bought from SM that those times. I wasn't really into that. I find them a little boring for me. So I knew that I had to build my own. So I
Mm.
built when I was a kid. I built my own robots
Mm.
from
Wow.
yes. Yes. Just simple robots. I made robots out of plastics that I find around the house, and I put some joints in them. Then I enjoy playing with them.
Mhm. So ano ka pala, batang 80s ka pala. So siguro
Oh,
naabutan mo yung panahon na doon sa quad bago nila giniba yung quad.
ayo.
Doon sa
Oh,
roof deck may ano doon eh, may mga remote control na
hobby shop doon. Oh, oh.
nagre-racing sila. And siguro madalas ka sa Green Hills noon para mamili ng mga piyesa tsaka ng
Well,
mga kit.
napapadaan noon. Pero
Mm.
I hear stories from other friends of mine who are also in the hobby na isa yun sa mga happiest experiences nila nung childhood nila.
Mhm. In my case, I absolutely enjoyed watching the remote controlled cars
Well, thank you.
zipping around dun sa roof deck nung quad nung
I see.
panahon ko. Naabutan ko rin yun. But
Ah,
one big question for everybody is, was there a special degree or qualification that you had to have to become what you're doing now? I mean, like, what did you finish? Or what did you pursue before?
well, I finished industrial psychology
Imagine
in
that.
PUP Santa Mesa.
Yeah.
That's the first degree I took. Then after a year of work,
Mm.
I entered UP Fine Arts. Yes, UP Diliman Fine Arts. Then I never really finished it, although I plan to do so in the near future. Well, hopefully
Mm.
I still have the energy for that. Then,
Mm.
well, then this hobby came.
Mm.
Uh, I have been in this hobby for uh, almost a decade now.
Wah, tagal
Then,
na.
yes, yes, and I consider myself really fortunate to be in this hobby right now because there are a lot of things have popped up that
Mm.
helped me create this toy I have been making for 4 years now.
Ang galing, ang galing. Ang ganda ng kwento mo. I mean, in other words, when you finish your first degree, which was industrial psychology, and by the way, I guess that really helped you also because
Yes,
it
yes, yes, yes,
means knowing yourself. Psychology is part of that is really understanding who you are and
yes,
maybe
exactly.
nung nagso-soul searching ka na natuklasan mo na this isn't really for me. I mean, I'm meant to do something different. So that's when you tried, no? You tried
Yes,
doing other things. Galing.
there.
Oh. Um, did it come as a shock or was it like just para bang merong inspiration na nagbulong sa'yo na subukan mo to? Anong saan nanggaling yung spark? Kumbaga, ano yung
Well,
nagsindi nung ano?
yes. Yeah, it's actually a concoction of a lot of things. Yung
Okay.
mga circumstances sa buhay,
Mm.
tsaka yung mga opportunities, tsaka lahat talaga, they led me to this. They led me
Mm.
to building this. And it also helps a lot to have a partner. Well, in my case, a wife who understands my hobby, and
Mm.
I think she understands me a lot more than I understand myself.
Mm.
I think because
Mm.
she supports me all the way with this thing
Wow.
I'm doing right now, and I think it is important that your partner, your wife, or whoever uh your significant other is, it is important that they know and they know very well what's this the benefits of having a hobby like this.
Mm. Alam mo, that's true of many of my previous guests as well. Kasi when they start to do what they like to do more than just their jobs, kung wala kang supportive na partner,
Yes,
ang laking conflict
luck
yan
hurdle, no?
within the family. So we've had people like that in the past na. Halimbawa si Nelson D, one of our old hosts, very supportive yung asawa niya si Lucy kaya malaking tulong. And by the way, I wouldn't worry too much about the degree. A degree doesn't guarantee success, not at all.
Yes,
It's
yes,
it's what you are good at. Yeah, no? And then clearly making miniature jeepneys is your passion. So, as we
yes.
can see in the background, Ian has some samples of his work. Um, Ian, saan mo nakuha yung inspiration mo from there? I mean, like, who were the biggest influences
Ah.
in your craft?
Well, pagdating sa influences, hindi na ako lalayo kasi andyan si Jan Calieja.
Oh yeah.
Tagal ko ng kaibigan. Tsaka
Mm-mm.
si Ninong Mel Silvestre ng UP Fine Arts. Pareho
Oh.
silang taga UP Fine Arts na hindi ko masasabing na hindi toys, ang toys ang binibuild nila. Well, actually hindi naman totally toys kasi
Mm-mm.
Sir Mel Silvestre has been for many decades she has been in building scale model building. He has been there. I learned a lot from him, and also
Mm-mm.
Jan Calieja nasa toy design and building. Nandun siya ngayon for I think 20 years na yata siya doon.
Oh,
Yes, sila yung
matagal na.
naka-influence sa akin. Pati
I see.
siguro isa sa mga strengths ko nililimit ko yung mga tao na pwede maka-influence sa akin.
Mm, mm.
Siguro tulong yun para sa akin in some weird way.
Yeah. And though I also understand that initially you began with the aspiration to create bigger works, with
Um,
masonry and metal, yung mga sculptures na ganun. Pero it ultimately iniwanan mo yun and you decided to
yes.
go smaller, no?
Yes, when I was younger, a lot younger, uh, I always dreamed of making large metal sculptures or maybe sculptures that are made of huge stones. Medyo
So,
malaking dream yan para sa akin. Pero
ayun.
eventually, nung na-discover ko ang radio control hobby,
Mm.
kasi miniature siya, tsaka lahat ng stuff na kailangan mo dito, pwede kong gawin with the help of some tools, some basic
Mm.
tools. So,
Wow.
nag-dive in ako sa hobby na to. And
Mm.
tapos, syempre, bilang artist, um, naisip ko na pwede akong gumawa ng kahit ano from scratch. And
Mm. Mm.
naging isa itong jeepney sa mga una kong ginawa. Along with a kalesa.
Mm. So an obvious question, Ian, is why the jeepney?
Why jeepney? Yes. Thank you sa question na yun. Well, um, maraming bagay na nagtulak sa akin para piliin yung jeepney. First of all, jeepneys, yung design niya, masyadong angular. Meron siyang mga medyo complex na curves. Pero medyo challenging yung paggawa niya. Pero yun yung fun part doon. Medyo challenging yung part na yun. Pero
Mm.
karamihan dyan, mga right angles lang ang kailangan mong gawin. Hindi gaya ng paggagawa ka ng tulad ng Volkswagen.
Oh, yeah.
Kita mo naman yan. Yung curves nun. Medyo mahirap makopya.
Mm.
Tsaka isa ito sa mga madaling gawin out of metal sheets. Yun yung napili kong medium kasi tsaka syempre, well, mas madaling magpaka-Pinoy, di ba?
Totoo yun.
Wala nang mas Pinoy siguro sa kahit anong sasakyan
Mm.
aside from a jeepney. So, tapos isa pa yung 'di ba sa jeepney lang parang may malaking part ng kultura syempre ng Pilipino ang nabuo around the jeepney. Ang
Yes.
daming ang daming kwento na nabuo sa jeepney,
Mm.
ang daming eksena na alam mong na hindi lang sa isang lugar na nangyayari. Kahit saang part ng lugar ng ng Pilipinas na merong jeepney, present yung mga tulad ng pagsabit, yung
Oo.
yung pag-upo ng nakakandong ka sa gaya
Mm.
nung malamang na experience mo rin yun
Oh,
na
yep.
nakakandong ka sa adult na kasama mo nung bata ka at libre
Mm.
ka, 'di ba? Libre yung kung sino ang nakakandong. Kaya,
Totoo,
kaya yung
totoo.
mga eksena na gano'n at saka isa pa, gusto kong idagdag yung 'di ba, pag maghahatid tayo o susundo sa airport,
Mm.
lalo nung panahon, mga
Ah,
90s, 'di ba?
mm.
Susundo tayo, sasabihin ng kapitbahay natin, isa lang susunduin nyo pero buong barangay ang susundo. Kasi makikita nila isang buong jeepney tapos puno ng mga tao, mga family members and friends na susundo on their way to the airport. Masaya
Mm.
yon. Tapos pabalik,
Mm.
plus one or plus kung ilan man yung susunduin nila, babalik sila na ganun kadami na mas masaya. Isa yun sa mga gusto kong ma-capture sa ginagawa ko na miniature
Mm.
jeeps. Kaya I have a lot of 1/24 scale
Mm.
figures. I have been carving them for the last few days, and they will represent the passengers. Yun, isa yun sa mga
Okay.
gusto kong magawa dito sa jeep.
Mm. Oh, by the way, for all of our foreign viewers, just so you'll understand the context within which Ian is talking, this harkens to a very Filipino habit of greeting a long missed loved one from abroad as an entire clan, not just a family, the clan. They'll all go to the airport because of one more uniquely Filipino trait. It's in Tagalog, we call it pasalubong.
Yes.
Everybody is expecting the pasalubong. So,
I'm glad you mentioned that one.
yeah.
Pasalubong.
Uh, so it is really important that we are able to immortalize this. And that's what Ian's doing. So yan yung ginagawa ni Ian. So bukod doon, pati kalesa, no?
Yes.
Ginagawa mo na rin.
I made one for a friend of mine in Australia, and I'm planning to do more, maybe mid this year.
Hmm.
Yes.
So, Ian, ito yung tanong ngayon. Considering na what you do obviously takes time, no? So like I imagine when you build one of your jeeps, hula ko lang to ha, pero based on yung parang bang timeline mo sa FB pag nakikita ko, I guess it takes you like a month or so to finish one project.
Well, right now, it takes me a couple of months to
Oh,
finish one.
kita mo na.
One of the one of these. Kasi ano, right now I'm still developing the tools
Yung.
in making the panels.
Mm,
Yes, I make my own tools. All
yun.
the dies and the stamps, the metal
Mm,
stamps that I
yeah.
use to make the panels, and also to make them uniform, and
Yes.
para then mas mabilis na i-reproduce. I
Mm,
need to make those dies and panels, or make also you can call them molds for the
mm.
metal sheets.
So that also goes back to the three main parts as I can see in what you're doing. There's the metalworking, there's the electronics, there's the painting side.
Yes.
So of the three, we add a fourth, which is coming up with your own tools. Kasi those are things you don't find in handyman or Ace
Yes,
Hardware. Or
definitely.
mga ganyan. So saan ka nakahanap ng mga tools? Was it from jewelers, yung mga nag-aayos ng relo, ganun?
Well, ano, like yung simple na hammer na ano, I need to find the smallest hammer that I can find.
Oo nga naman.
Ano, there. Pero ano, I have invested in tools. I had yeah, I have invested heavily on tools, but little by little, uh, some of my tools, ano, nabili ko siguro 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. Even those, ano, yung mga maliliit na screws ko, minsan naitatabi ko siya ng siguro mga 6 years bago ko magamit.
Wow.
Ganon. Pero
Mm.
ngayon kasi medyo naiba na kasi madali nang bumili online ng mga
Mm.
kahit ano, di ba? Kaya hindi na ako nagtatabi ng masyadong ganun katagal. Nakakapili na ako ng mga tools, yung mga tiny bits na kailangan ko para sa projects ko. Tapos yun, yung mga tools na kinakailangan ko, even the spot welder na ano na
Mm.
ginagamit ko sa pagdikit ng mga panels, ginawa ko siya, nag-DIY ako.
Wow.
Tapos sa tulong ng YouTube syempre.
Ayun. So somewhere along the way, of course, there were some initial failures, some like
Yes.
siguro napaso ka rin or you know, stuff that you learn from. Kasi sabi nga nila, failure is the fertilizer of success. I mean, how else can we learn unless we fail first?
Yes. Oh. Well,
Mm.
yung gaya nung nabanggit mo na paso,
Mm.
tsaka yung cuts, yung mga cuts sa
Oh
fingers,
my gosh.
minsan minsan angle grinder ginagamit ko. Ginagamit ko to cut
Mm.
small piece of metal.
Mm-mm.
Tapos tatamain sa daliri ko.
Ah.
Ayun, grabe minsan
Uh,
ano, usually natatawa na lang ako pag nangyari 'yon. Kasi ano, una tanggap ko na mangyayari 'yon. Then
yeah.
minsan sa kapabayaan, 'yun dun ako
Mm.
natatawa na sa edad kong 'to nagiging pabaya pa ako. Tapos hindi na ako ano, parang natatawa na lang ako. Tapos
Mm.
yan, you treat the wound na lang. Hindi na lang
Here's
puwedeng gawin.
a relevant question, no? Kasi the pain, the love, the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into it. has it been worth it? I mean, when somebody commissions you, without maybe mentioning an exact figure, but sulit ba? Yan ang tanong doon,
Well,
sulit ba?
alam ko makikita ko yon sa through sa family ko.
Mm.
Kasi hanggang ngayon sinusuportahan nila ako eh.
Mm.
Kaya
Mm.
palagay ko yun na yung palagay ko yun na yung answer doon. Di ko
Mm.
masabing dahil happy ako sa ginagawa ko. Palagay ko, well, so far happy yung wife and kid ko sa ginagawa ko, and I
Mm.
think proud sila.
Mm.
Siguro yun na, yun yung sagot ko doon.
Mm. I
Kaya
think one way of looking at it as well is the more exposure you acquire and the more people know about you as word of mouth spreads at marami na magpapagawa, that's the time when you can begin to name what you feel you're really worth. Kasi yung ginagawa mo, bro, ano yan eh, hindi karaniwan. And I think not too many people will have the patience, no? And the willingness to suffer through for their art. um, Alam ko na meron kang event, no? Yung tawag na Art in the Park,
well,
which is
yes, well, una, UP Artist Circle, member ako nun. They
Mm-mm.
are part of the event, the Art in the Park. It
Mm-mm.
is coming this May 17th. It's a Sunday. Dito
Mm-mm.
sa Ayala, sa isang park sa Ayala.
Mm.
Sorry, I forgot the name.
I think
Eh,
that would be, if I recall, the last time it was doon din ginawa banda eh. I think sa may Salcedo Village.
Yes,
Um,
sa Salcedo Beach.
Kasi may car park doon na there's space for an open air exhibit area. Um, Ian, when it comes to exposure, I've heard that you were also interviewed in the past by CNN.
Yes. That was December last year. I think
Mm.
it was a almost a month before they closed their studio in Mandaluyong, where I was
Mm.
interviewed.
Buti naabutan mo pa, no? Kasi ayun na
Oo.
nga, wala na siya. Mm.
Masaya yung experience na yon, just like this
Mm.
one.
Um, where can they find you?
Well, sa FB, sa Facebook
Ah,
ko, Ian Aycocho, or
yun.
local RC. Madali nang naman makita yon, Ian Aycocho. Local RC.
Wow.
Local with a K.
Mm.
Oh,
um, ano ang payong mabibigay mo sa mga nangangarap na magkaroon ng hobby or some people who might want to pursue metalworking as well, um, as art, as a way of not necessarily just to make a living but to express themselves. Kasi diyan ko nakita yung origin story mo eh, yung bang type mo lang talagang gumawa ng model tapos naging bonus na lang yung naging ano rin siya, way of earning a living. No? So,
yes.
what advice would you give?
Well, ano, first of all, kung may dream ka, di ba,
Mm.
kailangan i-pursue mo yun.
Mm.
Minsan naghahanap yun ng tamang oras.
Mm.
Just like in my case.
Oo.
And sa maraming ganyan na case, di ba?
Mm.
Tapos pag may opportunity ka na mag-move forward dun sa dream mo na yun, kailangan
Mm.
i-grab mo yun.
Mm.
Palagay ko. Tapos, wag kang matakot mag-try ng new things. Kasi para sa akin, medyo medyo bago to para sa akin eh. Para din sa bilang artist. Kasi
Mm.
kadalasan gumagawa ng sculptures na yun, yung mga figurative na sculptures, yung iba nagpa-paint. Para sa akin, ito, pinag-merge ko ang pagiging RC hobbyist ko or modeler at saka yung passion ko sa arts. At tapos, yun, dahil doon, nag-come up ako dito.
Wow.
Dito sa isang bago kong ginagawa.
Cool, cool. For our viewers, if you enjoyed what you've heard today and you're encouraged by Ian's incredible journey, do please leave some comments kasi we do like that, especially our guests. They like to read feedback from our viewers. And if you have any thoughts about who we might interview in the future, do leave us a note because we'll give it a serious consideration. So, for our next episode, we're going to be having Reynaldo Tabulo, who is a member of PACT, who will talk about healing and wellness. And so, ladies and gentlemen, do click like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed what you heard today. And remember, as always, learning is a never ending journey with limitless vistas.